Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's another fun-filled adventure, and it's Happy to Hump Day, Wednesday. And let's see what they're up to today. Also, let me go over to the chat line. All right, what we see is the Swiss this morning. You see over on J4X a little green box, just a teeny weeny little one. It's trying to do that lift thing, you know. You see the white line had pierced the dashed line, so it's just trying to lift up. Over here on, what's that? That is the 30-year. Let's go back to there. There we are. And right here you can see we went into a daily buy yesterday. Let's put that line in there too. And we are just rolling right back over again. And that weekly, like as we talked about yesterday, the weekly is not really reflecting any strength at the moment. It's trying, but you know, it's not really doing anything particular that would excite you. So you can see the weakness, or sideways action, I guess. You know, I keep on thinking we're going to go down and challenge the bottom end of the range here. We'll see. You know, these things seem to vacillate. I did see an article this morning that caught my eye. They say that the bond vigilantes are now targeting the central banks. That's going to be an interesting game. What if they just get to the point where they just refuse to buy bonds in the primary market and they just purchase what they want in the secondary market and mess up the tail of the statistic? You know, I mean, there's all kinds of things that could happen. And the end result, as you can see, the Royal Bank of Australia and Canada and the ECB, the European Central Bank itself, starting to drift away from the Fed situation. And I guess after the election last night, it's going to make it even harder now. Mr. Biden and the Democrats have taken it really hard on the chin. So, you know, and then when you combine what Mr. Biden did to the European Union and NATO and so forth, and England, and you know, there's a lot of issues out there. You know, there's a lot of people skeptical about what the longevity is, or the strength, or the I guess it's not even strength. It's the continuity of what he says and then what he does, and so that will force a lot of these central bankers to you know, to start to become even more nervous. You can see they in the Royal Bank of Australia stopped targeting yield yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk about that. You know, there's a lot of action going on here. And then we have today. Today's the Fed day. So what we're going to do is we're going to hear a lot of you know, information, or let's say the way, you know, the talk out there is that the central bank, you know, the Federal Reserve today will say that they're going to drop buying about 10 to 15 billion a month. So next month might be only like 105, and then the following month it'll be 90, and then the next month it'll be 75, and then 60, and so forth. They will only plow in, say, 400 billion, a little better than 400 billion over the next, I guess, 8 months, something like that, compared to 1.1 trillion? 1.2 trillion, I'm sorry. So, you know, cut it by 2/3. At the same time, they'll probably tell us how they're not going to allow it to, what's the best way, I'm just speculating what the Fed chair will say, but they'll probably come up with some way of making it sound like, if things get bad, we'll just start putting it back in there again. So, you know, so they're not really cutting back. I mean, they're cutting back on the free money, but they're not stopping the free money. And they're probably going to tell us how they won't stop it. And at the same time, this might help Mr. Powell to survive and hold the position again. Because at this point, I don't know if Mr. Biden has the ability to throw him out the door. In other words, they may not. If he gets rid of Powell, they've got the Senate and has to approve who he puts in there, and they only have 50 votes, so they, you know, or 40 or 51. After last night, there has to be at least 4 or 5 other senators that are not going to march with Mr. Biden anymore. So I think that's probably the, that's what we're probably going to see. I would say that's probably in the market already. Just a general idea of what will happen at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time today, or New York time. 2 o'clock will be the release of their minutes, and then 2:30 will be the press conference. So that could be very insightful. All right, from the Swiss, which is basically telling us that the dollar is basically sideways to down a little bit here, as you can see right there. And as you can see, it's falling back underneath the daily sell right there. That's the dollar finding its way to go down. Now let's check out the euro. See what the euro is telling us. The euro is trying to lift up into a daily buy here. You can see that right there. Check it out on J4X. Right there, so the dollar is weakening against that product at the same time. Let's see. So you can see right there, red bars matching up with our dots. You can see here, pushing through. You see this is starting to push through. Give it a couple more hours and it will be pushed through. And that is the action we're seeing in the euro. At the same time, you can see the weekly is trying to, what is it now? See, it's plot 1 is minus 0.00026. So it's still showing a little weakness in there. It's trying to get into the buy. You can see we've been in the weekly sell since up in here, in this area here. You see we've gone down, we've gone back up to it, we've fallen down, hit it, and just basically fell right to the floor. And we'll see if this can, by today's Wednesday, so we'll see if by Friday they can hold this thing up. Alright, that's pretty much the name of the game there. No questions today, it's kind of quiet. Okay. I would love questions. Fire them out. Be your guest, be my guest, be anybody's guest. Let's check out cable while we're waiting for somebody to suggest looking at something. I will take a sip of my hot tea. And there's the cable over on J4X. You see dollar again. Okay, it's not. Let's see where the lines are. The lines are coming off some nice low areas, though. You can see that. So you have to think that we're around the corner for a much more weaker dollar. As we see here on the euro, it's been banging against the bottom end of the range. So maybe it'll get its legs going. In this case here, we've come off of the, was that the 0.38, and we're heading back towards the 0.50. Daily is still having a problem getting into the daily buy, but the weekly doesn't seem to want to let go. That's the interesting part, is that we're going on a third week of buying. So we went into the buy in this area here at the 50th percentile, basically. It, ran up a little bit, did some things, and then fell down. Now it's bouncing again, and I would assume it'll find its way back up to that area. And that's what the cable is doing right there. And we don't even know what's behind, we can only see the prices, and usually our price action is, very accurate. We're 8.5 out of 10 times on a level of accuracy, sometimes even higher. And so we really don't know when we see the Royal Bank of Australia and the Royal Bank of Canada and the European Central Bank itself, the three of them, we don't really know how much they have broken away from the Biden Federal Reserve, and they may start thinking, okay, maybe we need to worry about ourselves a little bit more and not look at Papa Fed to take care of us as much. Middle Age says, how's the gold quant look this morning? I think it's in a sell, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's get the fact check up there. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, it went into a daily sell last night. See it right there? And same thing with silver. Silver did the same thing. So let's take a peek. And there is the 30-year, which I find fascinating. Those bond vigilantes, if they're out there, They're not doing it yet, but the curve is acting very strange. There you go. So we closed in a daily sell yesterday at 89, and today's low now in the gold is 78. So it's down about $11. But look at the weekly. The weekly does not seem to want to let go. And they're really pushing hard on that. You know, if this is really true, and we're reading our math the right way, you know, in other words, what the story could be, and we see these central banks moving away from the Federal Reserve, things could get a little wilder, you know. Sooner or later, the metals complex has to get life into it. I mean, you would think. I mean, I would, you know, I mean, that's, you know, Robin and I constantly think that we're going to see it. Now, when we go over to the silver, I mean, the logic says yes. There's the deck silver. You know, the weekly's holding up pretty well. You know, it's just barely underneath the time manifold right there, or the yellow goldish line there. We slid into the daily sell, and we are now, you know, moving a little bit lower. When we made a new low, but now we're basically almost unchanged. So I really have to believe that sooner or later we're going to get some positive action in the metals complex. It does, doesn't it? The weekly buy in gold and the strength that stays in silver says that the longer term money doesn't want to get out. That's what it's saying. That's why the gold action there, that spike. Let's see if we can contract that. It says that longer term money, like week to week, month to month, is saying, no, I don't want to sell. I just don't want to sell. I don't care if you guys are selling today. I'm not. That's what it's really screaming at us. I know that sounds very simplistic, making a mathematical number act like a consciousness, but that's the way our math works. And it's trying to tell us. That's what it's saying. No, I don't want to be sold back down again. And it may not go up much, but one thing's for sure, it doesn't want to go down. That weekly number will have to head back down to the, you know, below the zero line to confirm that there's sellers out there. Real sellers, you know, not just background noise. All right, let's see. Glad you asked. Ask more. Doc loves to deviate. From there, we're going to go over to Turkish lira. And you can see here, Turkish lira, after just a couple days in a sell, is trying to get back into the daily buy. And you can see from this long weekly situation, it won't even break the time manifold, you know, the blue line there. Makes you wonder, you know, how much strength is really, or let's put it this way, how much selling is going on in the Turkish lira, even more than we realize. And they may look like the gerbil on the wheel, just spinning away. And let's take a look at it over on J4X. Right there. Yeah, trying to lift up just like we are right here. Oh, that's not it. You can't see that. There you go. See right there, doing the same thing, that lift. And that's a dollar Turkish lira pairs trade. And you know, and I find, you know, obviously the euro Turkish lira trade even more insightful. Let's see, where are you? Where are you? Right there. And right there, there's the Euro Turkish lira on J4X now. Same situation, moving up. And again, that weekly doesn't have any interest whatsoever of revisiting at the moment. I don't know. I keep on hearing this number in my head. It's not like I'm, it's not like something logical or anything, but or mathematical, like geared towards our math. I just keep on hearing 1250 in my head. This product is going to find 1250. I don't know why it wants to find 1250. I mean, I know why it wants to find 1250. That's been the policy of President/Prime Minister Aragon for all the years that he's been in power, is that this product is going from 1.5 to 11.5. So I don't know. I keep on hearing 1250. I'm not sure why in my head, because I haven't done any like a measurement. I haven't done any, R.N. Elliott extension, or I haven't done any of those things at all. I'm just keep on wondering, is it going to go to 1250? I don't know why 1250. I think, you know what? I think it had something to do with the South African rand, or was it oh, I know it was the ruble. When ruble fell apart and was it long-term capital management had those problems in the 90s, the ruble found a way to get up into the 13s and hang in the 13s. So I'm just thinking in my head that maybe this is going the same way. It may be. This is the policy of Turkey, is the policy of, if we can only bring our currency down low enough, everybody will invest. I think that's what the real answer is. All invest. Wow. Neat. So, I mean, that's the total answer to it all, as far as I can tell. All right. From the Turkish lira, what we do is we slide over to the Canadian now. Let's find what the Canadian's up to. Yesterday we realized that the election has been a month ago now. No one told us. I knew I should have looked it up a long time ago. And there we are right there. So Mr. Trudeau didn't get a majority, but he still has the prime ministership, because he's got a coalition that is taking care of that. It sounded like it went on for a while, and it's still going on for a while. They're still trying to figure it out. That's there. Let's take a look at it on J4X. There we go. You can see the bounce up action right there. And same thing here, putting us 3 days now in a buy. And I guess this thing's going to power its way up to the 50 percentile that we've been watching. And you can see the weekly is still way down. So I don't think money is really rushing towards this. This could be just literally profit taking at this point, nothing more than that. And then before you know it, we'll be sitting there again. I don't know, traders, we know that for the last decade they've tried to keep us in ranges. They've kept pairs trades in envelopes or side channels, or however you want to describe it. But we're coming to a point now where, as they like to say, where the rubber meets the road. Where the rubber meets the road, like the tire hitting the on the ground, and the vehicle is moving. And there's going to be a lot of. We've been in a very strange era, 13 years of it, since Mr. Obama's presidency. It's been one weird adventure. Mr. Trump, I guess, kind of showed that it didn't have to be. But in the end result is that I don't know where we're going to go, what was going to power what. All we'll do is we'll follow the math and see how it plays itself out. Because it's all these. Matter of fact, I saw another headline today. I didn't even think I was going to mention it, but what did it say? I want to read it out loud. Just a headline. It was about hedge fund, about a group of hedge fund managers, and they had a really strange statement. Let's see, where's it at? I'm going to find it. Something about there's too much money out there that needs to be killed. Hedge fund CIO, there is too much capital in the world and it needs to be destroyed. Financial repression is the most painful destruction tool as it provides no quick recovery. It instead stretches losses over a generation. Yeah. Now I don't know whose CIO that was. Let's see which fund it was, but that's River Assets. Eric Peters, CIO of One River Assets. I've heard of them. Let's see what they manage. Usually they'll say how much they manage. Let's see. It was on a Bloomberg headline. But if that's the attitude, if people are starting to get tired of free money, you would think if you're a hedge fund and you've been getting all this free money from the Federal Reserve, you probably want to say, you know what, I don't need any more. I think I'm just going to take my profits and walk away. Leave the poker table. Obviously, I don't really think the Fed will fall apart. But one thing's for sure is that it's not going to be easy like it has been. Let's put it that way. I think we've probably seen the end of blind, easy money with no consequences. I think that's where we're coming to. I basically want to say that the election last night probably is a clarification of it. They weren't happy about it, during the Trump years, and they did a lot to stop it. But then, Biden ended up in there, and he put his foot to the pedal to it, and the financial car is flying like a mad, bouncing off the walls and cars and bouncing all over the place, injuring everybody. And so after last night, maybe they're gonna become a little bit more responsible. I guess that would be the best way to look at it, is responsible. So when you have a fund manager say something like that in writing, that definitely makes you think a few times about, we must be changing, we must be moving through a new level of this QE. Maybe we're moving to the edge of close the QE down, Santiago! Hello, hello! Evening, Doc. Evening to you. I'm doing fine. I hope your day was nice. I hope you're having an adult beverage and kicking back and enjoying the webcast. Yeah. Aren't I supposed to sing a new song today for you on the way out? Reeves, was it? Who was it yesterday that you wanted me to sing? What song was it? Got to give me a heads up, or I'll end up doing Roy Rogers. Me and Roy, And Dale Evans. I always liked Dale Evans, his wife. And my dog was named Bullet. Yeah, his dog was named Bullet. My dog was named Bullet. Only tea. Yeah, that's what I'm having right now. I have a nice combination of tea. I'm doing a ginger root. That's one bag. I have it in the bags. I'm doing black tea. And I'm doing a green tea. I do all 3 bags and brew that. Oh, it's a nice combination. Very nice. Let's do the Beatles today, sure. Oh, I remember the Beatles very well. We can do the Beatles. Alright, from the Canadian, what we do is we jump over to where we were with middle age, and we'll just jump right to the crude oil to start off with right there. We looked at gold, and you can see crude oil's moving down too. So we have gold moving down, crude oil moving down, silver moving down, and we have Canadian, as you can see here on the J4X, moving up. Yeah, so it's doing that little thing there. Let's see what the South African Rand was up to. I'm a little surprised at that strength in there. I don't know if it has anything to do with... I'm not reading anything about Zuma and his gang anymore, so I don't really know if that's an influence. But look at that thing on the J4X. Just... looks like a Bezos rocket. Looks like a What is it? What's the other guy's name? Elon Musk rocket. Yeah. And then let's see. Let's put it up on Chicago. See what it looks like there. There it is. Kind of stalling out a little bit. Nothing major. Just stalling out. But it's been moving up, and we've been in that weekly buy there, and you know the daily doing the same thing as the J4X, moving up. Lots of green, just like the J4X. See all the green here. See all the green there. Douglas, good morning to you. Let's see. Now you got me wanting to think. What's that song that I used to like? The Good Day Sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Yeah, now I'm hearing Beatles songs in my head now. Now you got me thinking of the Beatles. Oh my goodness. All right, heading over to the ruble. See what the ruble's up to today. Ruble Double. Right there. Been marching up a lot also, which is kind of curious since the dollar seems to be weakening. But for some reason the ruble is not. Right there. And we are in what, the weekly sell on the ruble? Oh yeah, but look at that. It's trying to get, and you can see here on the fact check spreadsheet right there. Ruble is 12 weeks in a sell, 5 days in a buy. And look at the weekly now. It's trying to really reach up. It's trying to get going. And you can see that right there. And I bet over in J4X, I bet the weekly is a second week in the green. Nope, just 1 week. Okay. I thought, wow, maybe they really jacked it that way. But look at that way it's spiking there for the weekly. Wait a minute, where'd the chart go? How's that happening? There you go. So you can see there, it's trying. Good day, shine, sunshine. Do 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 do. And now you got the Beatles. All I keep on hearing, I love you, yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear it all now in my head. Boy, I can remember that day. That was a funny day. They were on the Ed Sullivan show that Sunday night. First, and then Monday morning, getting on the school bus. I was the first person that got on the school bus normally, and then by about I guess it was, all the boys got on. You know, we got like 4 boys in a row getting on the school bus, and we got out to Piney Hollow. Yes, I lived in a place that was called Piney Hollow, and. We got out the Piney Hollow Road, and we were starting to pick up the girls. And I remember one of the little girls started singing a Beatles song, and the bus driver yelled at her because we weren't allowed to talk on the school bus in the '60s or the '50s. You know, if you talked, they yelled at you and they punished you. So she stopped singing. And then we stopped off to pick up Ada Mae Wade. I remember that. It was like the 3rd girl. And Ada Mae got on the bus, and she started the Beatles songs, and the boys joined in, and school buses were never quiet again the rest of my life. That's right. After that, it was like bedlam, you know. People had Beatle wigs by the end of the week. Boys were wearing Beatle wigs. Yes, boys wearing Beatle wigs. Funny. All right, and that is the ruble. You can see there's the weekly ruble. Trying to join in with Chicago on that one. A little curve there on the daily, but I don't see that as being anything major. Let's see how it looks here. Yeah, just a little curve there too. We'll see. We got green dots going on. We got this thing busted through the time manifold right there, heading towards 0. So, yeah. I love the ruble. Yeah. All right, so let's jump over to the yen. See what the yen's up to. Here's the yen. Moving down a little bit, so the dollar is firming up against the yen. It's interesting. The majors are breaking away, aren't they? You know, when you really think about it, the majors are starting to break away. So you got, you know, like cable and Swiss and Euro. Canadians like flattish, I guess you could say. And the yen, no, the yen is not breaking. You know, is not moving, but that way. But you know, we'll see. It seems like something is brewing. Let's put it that way. I can tell that. I can see the bubbles. Something is brewing when it comes to the marketplace there. Yeah. Let's see if we can do this. Just to get the chart a little bit more fixed onto the screen. I noticed that's a little off. There we are. All right. And from the yen, what we're going to do is we'll go. Yeah, you can see it here on J4X too. It's trying to push down. And then from there we go to the last one, and that is the Mexican peso. There it is on J4X, and you can see it's been lifting up. Wow, you know, I mean, I think to a great extent I want to extend this oval more than add another one. Like that. Something's going on there too at the same time. They, where are we in that product? You can see they've been really starting to push it up, back up to this area here. And let's see where, that's right, we don't have it on a spreadsheet. Let's move that over. Look at it closer. So you can see we've been in a daily buy since right here. And since we're in the weekly buy for the last 6 weeks, what a winner chicken dinner that one is. Right there. Yeah, what we're hearing is that the Fed will taper. They're going to make some type of announcement that they're going to do somewhere between 10 and 15 billion a month. So in other words, right now they do 120. Over the next 2 months or so, or 3 months or something like that, or 1 month, they're going to go to 105, and then supposedly go to 90. And then from 90 to 75, and they'll monitor it, and they'll see if it's okay, and so forth. And then from 75, they'll go to 60. And what they're figuring is that by the end of it all, they'll only taper for about 420 billion total, compared to 1.2 billion. So they've tapered by 2/3. They'll still be increasing the money flow, and the size of the portfolio or the balance sheet, but it will be reducing the amount it's being expanded. Then supposedly they're going to go to flat, and I just think that they're going to hide it. That's all. They have the ability to hide it without us knowing that they're doing anything. But we will know through our math, because we'll see foolish trading, where they buy it and then they buy it higher. And then they buy it higher. In other words, natural trading, since right before Mr. Obama became president, was normal trading was things go up and then they go down. And they go up and they go down. And then increased buying occurs on the downswing, not on the upswing. And instead what we saw was once Mr. Obama was winning the election, we saw it just explode and wreck the economy simultaneously, and the world banking system went bankrupt. And that was that they would buy, and then buy higher, and then buy higher. They would cannonball. And that's just not natural for the market to do. Is Fed a government organization or private? Private. It's a private one. They call it a quasi-government agency, but it's not. Supposedly, the Federal Reserve is backed by the U.S. government, but it's an independent. It's an NGO, I think they call it, non-government aid organization. So they appoint the people who run it, but they don't control it, supposedly. That seems to be a way of controlling it. If they had a standing committee that was totally neutral, that looked at resumes and hired, that would be a lot different than what happens is the President of the United States appoints a person for the Federal Reserve, and then the Senate, U.S. Senate, votes on it, a yay or nay. So that's how they do that. And that's the name of the game. I hope that answered your question there. Looks like they. Yeah, exactly. I think one thing is for sure, after last night's election, I would assume that for the first time in 11 months, I believe that Powell is going to stay in office now. He's going to hold his job for a second term. Yep. All right. From the Mexican peso, we move over to the futures contracts. Now we start looking at the gold and silver a little bit more closely. Look at platinum and copper. So let's do that right there. Let's throw in gold right here. It's on the J4X there. And as you can see, where's that? I gotta use the other mouse. The other mouse. And there's the gold, down at its lows of the day. But the weekly is still holding up, but it's not running mad, but it is firm. It was very firm. We'll see how that plays out by the end of the week. And then let's look at silver, and you can see the same thing with J4X. You see how it's rolling over just the same way. See that right there. And let's take a look at silver in it. There's silver moving down also, like it is here. We got a couple red dots, and you can see here this thing's got red bars, and we got 4, then a volatility one with a red and a green, and then 2 more. So that's 7. This is doing the same thing. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So moving down, you can see the line broken, same as here. And we did slide. No, I guess we didn't, since we got a red and a green there. So I guess how that works. I guess we remove that. I'll have to look. I'll have to double check that, because I thought it went into a buy. That might be just bad numbers. And then from there, let's see, where do we go from here? And you can see the weekly's starting to touch the top of the manifold. Let's see how it looks over on J4X on the weekly. And it's curving over too. Same game. And that's why we have this particular combination. We put, it's algo wars basically. We used to do algo wars in the very beginning. We did algo wars, 2 algorithms battling with each other. Now we do 2 algorithms, a slow and fast stochastics battling with each other. Okay, and then let's check out crude oil right there. And there's the crude right here. Oh, no, not crude. We don't want to do crude. We want to do copper. Let's stay with the metals complex and finish that off. There's copper. There you go. Copper's trying to lift up on our work here. You can see it's rolling over here. Let's give copper a refresh on the Chicago and see if it catches up with the. It doesn't. Okay, so it's holding up. So it's 3 days in a buy now, and the weekly's holding up pretty firm. You can see here the weekly is rolled over a little bit on the copper. Let's see what the daily looks like. Silver down, yeah. I don't know how they can do that. Yeah. It just seems so crazy to me. I can't understand why silver's not like at least trading in the $42 area or something like that, you know, honestly, $39. Why isn't gold trading in the 1975 area or 2000 area, you know? I don't understand, you know, with all the craziness that's going on around us, it makes no sense to me. And then let's check out the platinum. We haven't looked at the platinum lately. There's the platinum. And as you can see right there, platinum is rolling over. But look at the weekly. It's been 2, 4, 5 solid weeks. We didn't touch the $1,100 area, but it's trying to roll over a little bit here today. We'll see. Crude is down, so I guess the Dow will make a new high. Yeah, really? Isn't that the truth? Right now, no. Now let's go over to the energy complex. We'll look at that. You can see crude oil down. Let's take a look at what we'll do is we'll do the crude oil on J4X. You can see it there doing the same thing, rolling over. And then at the same time, let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is where's it at? It's right there. And the Dow is, you know, you can see it's playing with the daily right there. It's, you know, it's touching the line. Right now it's, oh, you see plot 1 plus 33. It's just plus 67. Now it's plus 67 again. See that plot 1? 33 again. So this is going to be interesting. It could be actually fly to like a -1 or something out of nowhere. There's plus 67 again. So it seems like it's ticking in 34s. Whoa, there, yeah, 33. So there you go. 130, 1 par, 133, 67, par. Yeah, it's just kind of jumping around there. Let's put that on the system there. There you are. So you can see it in the box. 267. Oh, okay. Plot 1. We need to change that for plot 1, not plot 4. But that means it's 133. Right there. I'll get rid of that. There we are. There you go. That's at par, 133. See that in the box there? Where the arrow is? So we were at 33, then we went to 67 up to 133. And let's see if we can break that. Let's see. And what do we have? We have, I think, oil is, where's oil? I think oil is down to, not oil, Dow Jones Industrial Average is down at minus 68 at the moment, minus 67. You can see there it's plus, wow, that was a nice move. 133 to 67, now par, 1 evens. So we're seeing more pressure on it at the moment. Let's see what it looks like over on J4X. Where are you? There it is. There's the Dow Jones. Is it time to short S&P already, Doc? I'd like to see a daily sell at least. You know, look at it here. Here's the Dow. You can see that. Are you talking about day to day or in the next 10 minutes? Shall we shift over to an intraday real quick for you? Here's an intraday of it. It's moving up actually right now. It's come off the lows of, was it 46.16? We're trading at 18.5 now, something like that. 18 evens are trading. So when we widen this like that, yeah, actually it's trying to show a little weakness there on the intraday down. But day to day, not yet, no. Not yet. As we sip the last of our tea. Okay, now on a daily, let's go back to the daily on that, on the S&P, I'll show you that. Right there. Tea went down the wrong pipe. See, the daily's trying to break down, but look at the weekly. Yeah, it's kind of high up. We would like to see the daily at least try to get into a sell, you know. I guess, you know, with the Fed news out today, you have to wait a little bit. Long-term short, maybe? At the moment, you know, I follow the math, and right now the math is trying to tell us that it's still trying to go up. That's what it's saying here. As much as every time they go into a sell, I mean, look at the sell. See, how much can you see there? You see this sell right here, right? Lasted for a couple days. It shows a little weakness. It wasn't a weekly sell. Let's move that. Let's tighten that up a little bit too. So we go into a weekly sell here, and it does its best more to go up than down, and gets back into a weekly buy. You know, from here to there, gets into a weekly buy and starts to ride north again. You see that long daily buy went on all the way up to there, 2 days down. One day was down, the next day is back up again. The following day we're in the daily buy again, joining in with the weekly. So until we really see some signs of weakness, I did hear a couple people, you know, there's a couple people that I kind of respect, you know, I listen to at times, you know, when they come on TV, I like to listen to them. And, you know, they're saying that basically they could see a 15-20% drop in the S&P and the Dow over the next, say, 10 months. I think that could happen. But I myself will be waiting more towards seeing a weekly sell, or at least a bunch of daily sells, you know, and then put the binaries on or the options and trade it that way for, you know, weeks, long-term binaries, that type of thing. All right. Let's see, where do we go from here? Where were we? Oh, let's just take a look at natural gas, because I heard China today, their natural gas exploded on the upside, like the way it happened in Europe. Now, what's that? That's GBP. So is that trading at 9.49 at a cubic foot? Is that what that is? Let's see if we can find the regular gas, the American gas. That's the GBP one. FTSE, dollar, beans. There it is. And let's look at the natural gas here. You know, we're going into the winter months. Things are getting a little weirder. There's natural gas right there, the December contract. Still a little bit lower, but we're in the second day of a daily buy. We've been in a weekly sell since Friday. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything good for us, you know. But we'll see how they play out. We've been so right. This product, this is the 1.5 at the moment. Our math has been so right on this natural gas for so long, for like a year and a half, that, you know, this has got to find some spots where we lose money. It's got to happen sooner or later, here or there. Nothing major, of course. We never give up what we've made over the years. but you know, just a day-to-day situation, you know. And you know, natural gas in many ways is you know, we're coming into the winter months. You know, you got, I mean, Biden was asking the Russians to produce more. I don't know, something like that. Asking the Saudis and the Russians to produce more. I don't understand that too much, because he stopped us from producing. We were a net exporter. Now we are an importer. He stopped us cold the first day he became president. Really weird. None of it makes any sense. So Russian gas is better than American gas. I guess Saudi Arabian oil is better than American oil. I don't know. No idea. It's still being burnt no matter what in the end. So where's the math of that? Let's see. From there, we should look. Oh, let's look at heating oil. Here's the next one. Heating oil. You can see here the heating oil is flirting with a weekly sell at the moment. See that right there. It went into the buy. Where did it go into the buy? Like 210, something like that. Basically, yeah, 210.20 in that area. And it ran all the way up to 257. Made 47 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, something like that. 50 cents. And now we're flirting with a weekly sell. I don't know. There's one thing is for sure, and that is that Mr. Biden's going to have to change some of his policies, or he's going to lose. The Democrat Party is going to disappear to some extent. You know, he's got to change some of his policies, and that would be one of them, letting us be exporters again in oil and natural gas. I mean, when you're paying 30 some odd dollars a cubic foot, I mean, we'll sell to you for like 8, 9. Nifty 50. Okay, let's see what the Nifty 50 is up to. There we go. There's the Nifty 50. Where's the Nifty 50? There it is. And, you know, went into the buy right there. And now we've climbed up to it the last couple days. And you can see the weekly is trying to turn up. We'd been in a weekly buy in that product for a while, all the way back into July. So we went from the 46 area all the way up to the 54 area? 53.81. 53.81. So 50, let's just round these numbers out. 54 versus 46. So $6 move, pretty good move in it. So you can see the Nifty 50 is doing that. Let's see what it looks like on J4X at the moment. I see it on here. I think that's it right there. There you go. And you can see it there on J4X. It moved down, tried to bottom yesterday, and having a little issue at the moment. Nothing major. Let's see what the lines look like. There we go. It's trying to, still hasn't lifted up. You can see here we are already in a buy for a couple of days. Right there. So it went into a buy here, went down the next day, and it went right back up and made the money. And now, see, the problem is you can't really take that long because of this. So if you're doing it, you have to do it in the options. So that'd be fine, you know, or the binaries. And now you can see right there. What is that? That's just, it said 0.00000. So it's not plus yet. Not plus yet. Getting closer, but not plus yet. And that's the Nifty 50. Alright, so we've done heating oil, natural gas, and crude. And I am, you know, consistently, well, like I said, I don't know. After Mr. Biden is coming home to a whole different game So we'll see if things start to change now, because there's definitely issues now that they can't hide from too much. They have to accept the fact that they have to walk away from the socialists. They're partnered with the socialists in the Democrat Party. 96 members are socialists, and 100 and I think it's like 116 are old-fashioned Democrats, but they've been letting the socialists lead everything. So I would imagine they're going to have to deal with that. They can't walk away, and that would be a reason why oil's going down today, because maybe he will let us become an exporter again. Twist. I'm for that one. That's it. Yes, indeed. And that could be literally the whole answer to it in the end. Really, it really could. Is that we'll see over the next 24 to 48 hours how Mr. Biden deals with everything. I mean, that is really what it comes down to. And that's how we're going to have to deal with this. We'll be able to see from there, and we'll be able to. There'll be a whole lot more information too, and ideas. When it comes to that. I mean, really, that will be the situation. It'll be extremely the situation. So, let's see, what else we got to say about any of this? Let me just double check the chat line. Okay, nothing there. So yeah, we're gonna, and then that, and in many ways this could be, hope for Europe. I mean, paying $30 for natural gas, or $33, is pretty expensive. I mean, I don't know how else to look at it, but one thing is for sure: they can't let this go on in the winter months. All right, twist and shout sound about right. All right, let's get that one. So this is Doc from North America. And we will catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. This is Happy to Hump Day. So, shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, baby. Oh my God. Come on, baby, work it on out. Oh, yeah. All right, traders. Catch you tomorrow. Doc from North America saying, twist and shout. You know you would.